Yes, we are back for another MLB trade deadline special. We are here with the Wash Your Ass crew, right, Pete?
That's right. Wake your motherfucking asses up. It's your favorite TIO Al Cintron. I know it's been a minute. I'm not on camera because I'm waiting for my food and I was taught not to, you know, talk and chew with your mouth full. So I'm just waiting for my food to get here. I hope everybody's doing good. This is the latest edition of TIO Al Friends. And today was a significant day in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area for Mets and Yankee fans. And before we get started, Pete, how's it going? Heck, how's it going? And Pete, you want to introduce your Yankee friend who's not a Met hater?
Yes, well, we'll see about where he goes with this trade deadline. But of course, welcome to our guy, Subway Sports Talk co-host, our designated hitter is what I like to call him. Andrew Kalanya from Subway Sports Talk is joining us today to talk some Mets and some Yankees, of course. But I got to say one thing before we get going, because every time we do this, Gallo's usually here, makes a joke about how Al is old, which I think is just not nice, frankly. It's just not nice. But I did something very old today. I was walking the dog, and I was tying up a bag of poop. And as I was doing that, I tripped and fell flat on my face with an open bag of poop in my hand. I swear, I'm blessed that my face is not worsely bruised than it already is on my nose. I'm blessed that the poop stayed in the bag. But in the local soccer game on the soccer field next to where I was walking, bro, I tried to step over this little railing that was like my dog like freaking stepped over it. It was so low. I was tying the poop, just wasn't paying attention. The goalie from the soccer game was like, "Oh, you good, bro?" Oh my, embarrassing.
Oh man, gosh. The children are getting you know it's embarrassing. Well, you look good though, Pete. So your spider reflexes were on point. So you looking good in the face, brother.
Moneymaker is all ready to go.
Yeah, the money maker is good.
Wait. What you mean you did something old? Your dumbass just wasn't paying attention. Like, what you mean you did something old? That's on you.
You know what?
Don't blame agents and shit.
If you saw it, you would get it because it was in slow motion for real. Like it's one of those like little chain links. Like my foot like touched the link and like in slow mo, I was like, oh my god, I'm falling. Wait, I can't stop. Oh no, I really can't stop.
Oh my god. Well, who knows? It might be on Instagram later. Somebody recorded a reel, so
yeah, it will be, be on TikTok.
I don't know if you saw that Dante Jones video that's out of him picking his ass and sniffing it in the hotel camera. They released it. You see that shit?
Yeah, I saw that.
Man.
Big bro is watching.
Yeah, so Pete, if there's a video of a white guy falling with his dog laughing at him, that's gonna be you.
Well, I got video of Pete.
Oh shit! They leaked it.
You okay?
They leaked it.
I told.
Yo, they leaked it. That was fast.
But now we can collectively laugh at me, right? Because I have a video that I want to play, right? That I was saving specifically for Al, because the other day your boy Hector, I threw out the first pitch for the game, right? So I got the video. Al, don't be a dick, all right? But I'm gonna play the video and you let me know if it's a strike.
First of all, you're already disqualified. You didn't stand on the mound.
They didn't let me.
Okay.
Woo!
Okay, that's a strike.
You see, they call it a strike.
It's a strike. Not as good as me at Fanatic Fan Fest, but that's a strike.
That was a strike, bro. It might have been an ephus pitch, but you know.
I didn't want to show up Ramiro. I didn't want to show up Mendoza. Ramiro Mendoza was there. There was a lot of kids there. It was his day. I didn't want to show him up. You know, I had 93 in the tank. I didn't want, I didn't want to pull it out.
It's all good. You pulled an El Duque instead of El Duque. It's all good, brother. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh man, but no, MLB trade deadline. Al, Since you're back, I'll kick it over to you. Lead the conversation. Throw it over to Pete and Andrew as well, because both teams were cooking. And thank you to the New York Mets. Thank you, Steve Cohen, because if it wasn't for y'all, I don't think Brian Cashman would make these moves.
All right, so here's the deal with this. I tweeted it out earlier. Bravo to Brian Cashman and David Stearns. The question is, are fans still going to bitch and moan? And the reason I'm saying that is because you see the Dodgers, their payroll is what, over 400 million, and they're still not good. They're still not right. They still have holes. So at the end of the day, everybody's going to have holes in their roster. The Yankees, you don't have a closer. You don't have two closers. You have 16 closers down the bullpen. And come playoff time, that could be a good thing, because seventh inning, here comes the heart of the lineup. And you don't want to use your quote-unquote closer, but you have other guys who close, who pitch in big situations, and you can bring them in those leverage situations. That's why I like the move for Helsley, because I know it's a rental, and Rogers, I know it's a rental, although I think the Mets, if he does well, will bring him back next season for the bullpen. Diaz, we've seen him in the playoffs last year. Dodgers, seventh inning, and then he's done. You got to piece together eighth and the ninth. Well, guess what? That doesn't have to happen anymore. The bullpen is deep. The Mets have a deep bullpen. The Yankees have a deep bullpen. We'll see who's going to end up closing games for them. I'm always leery of guys who come from shit teams to good teams. Bird has been terrible his last bunch of outings. But the Yankees definitely got better. Duvall, I like him. He's just wild. I like him. The Yankees might have the most combined saves of any roster right now in Major League Baseball. Go look at the number of saves that are in their bullpen right now. But the Yankees, Brian Cashman woke up. His edibles, he wasn't feeling them anymore. He woke up, made some deals at the deadline. Mets fans, they got their moves. Soto, Cedric Mullins, who I wanted over Luis Robert Jr., because I think Luis Robert Jr. is just straight basura. And then you got Helsley and you got Rogers. I think both teams got better. The problem with the National League, though, is the Padres trade everybody and their grandmother load up. It's all or nothing for them this year. So I'm happy with the way both teams operated this deadline, and fans should not be complaining one bit.
Yeah, I'm so pumped about this. I saw some people early on yesterday getting on like, oh, you're giving up Drew Gilbert. That could be the next Pete Crow Armstrong.
Oh,
someone
God.
in this chat might have said that to me in a different group chat right now. I don't know who it is, and it's not Hector, and it's not Al. I'm throwing smoke at my boy Drew right off the rip. But with that being said, like Drew Gilbert right now is somebody. He ain't really anybody special though. You get rid of him because he's a 2027 guy, 2028. The Mets can win right now. And they have this massive hole that Al just broke down. Like you talk about Kodai Senga throwing out this great game, right? Picture this, 5 innings, 9 strikeouts. He's electric, but he can't get into the 6th. You got Rogers. Now you got Helsley. You got Gregory Soto. You got Reed Garrett still. You got Rico Garcia still. All leading up to Edwin Diaz.
Brooks Raley.
Brooks Raley is back too. Like this has become an absolute strength when it was literally a massive weakness yesterday, right? Like that's what happened in a few days' time for the New York Mets. So in David Stearns, I continue to trust because it's not like they traded number 1, 3, 4, and 5 prospects. They traded 8, 10, 12, and 15. Like we'll live, baby. We'll live.
Yep. And if I could just piggyback off of what you just said, Pete, even though your name says Hector Beauchamp on the screen, if you want to fix it, so people don't get confused. Represent. Piggyback on what Pete said. When you look at prospects, right? And this is something that I like to believe. Shout out to my man, Jimmy Randazzo on Twitter, who loves to say, hug your girlfriend, not your prospect, right? When you look at prospects, they're just a lottery ticket. You just hope that you have Willy Wonka's golden ticket when it's time for your prospect to make their major league debut, right? When you look at the prospects that the Yankees gave up and what the Mets gave up, the Mets didn't give up any of their top 5 prospects or any top 100 prospects. Drew Gilbert is 25, turning 26. He is a career AAA hitter who hasn't even figured it out at AAA. And we all know, if you guys understand minor league baseball, the tougher competition is at AA. AAA is where you send guys down who are just fringe Major League Baseball players, right? So he wasn't even able to conquer AAA, right? So when it comes to Drew Gilbert, I don't think he's going to be the next PCA. If he does, that's crazy. That's just the Mets' luck. But you just got to go in. The Mets went all in. Brian Cashman went all in. The prospects that Brian Cashman traded, they're expected to be up in 2028. That's when Aaron Judge is like on the decline, going to retire. You have to go all in, and both teams did that at the deadline.
Yeah, it's really surprising because Cashman doesn't usually do this. Like he's usually very wishy-washy. He's very doesn't like to make all those all-in moves. Like he'll make 1 or 2 moves, but that's really it. But when I was like, great, they got Bird, they got Bendar, and I was like, that's great. And when they got Duvall, I was like, oh shit, like he's going all in, because I don't think they were able to get a starter. And I don't want to poo-poo the deadline at all for either team, because again, I think both teams got significantly better in strength in a place where they're both very weak. So, but to have them not come away with a starting pitcher, either of them, that was a little bit disappointing to me. So I give the trading deadline grade like a A- instead of an A, because I really I don't know, because the Mets need a starter that can go past the 5th inning. Same with the Yankees. I know Heel's coming back on tomorrow, but I don't know how much you can steadily rely on him to keep going forward. But I mean, I guess when you get to the playoffs, if you have that deep of a bullpen, you can deploy just 3 starters and then kind of just say fuck it and go bullpen games the rest of the way. So.
Solid. Respect.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's never going to be perfect. The starters, there was not many starting pitchers to go, and Alcantara stays in Miami, Cabrera stays in Miami. Merrill Kelly went to Texas, but besides that, what other starting pitcher was traded? There's really Seth Lugo re-signed with the Royals. Extended.
Keller
that's the guy.
Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, Keller stayed.
Gallen stayed for some reason. He's a free agent at the end. What the hell the Diamondbacks are doing, but
yeah, Charlie Morton is like a name that went. Like,
that's
Charlie
another
Morton.
one.
Watch out.
Andrew Haney didn't go anywhere.
Joe Ryan didn't go anywhere. Sandy Alcantara, Edward Cabrera didn't go anywhere.
Nope. And also, the Orioles, Zach Eflin, isn't he hurt? I know he was a target, but then he's hurt. So not that many starting pitchers were traded at this deadline. I think what's going on now is teams want super pens come the playoffs. I think the Mets and the Yankees did just that. And considering, usually play a game, then a day off, travel, those other bullshit takes forever.
Days off.
Yeah, so I think you want your starters in the playoffs to go 5. That's ideally you want them to go 6, but 5, and now you go to the super pen and you just match up. And now the Yankees have many options to match up, and the Mets have many options to match up. So I'm pumped for both of them. I see Met fans and Yankee fans complain, "Oh, we don't have a starter. We couldn't get a starter." You couldn't get everything. You couldn't get everything you wanted.
No,
you couldn't. Now it's time for the other guys to step up. You're gonna need Carlos Rodon, who in a big game disappears. He's nowhere to be found. You got Max Fried, who's been Max Fried's been struggling a little bit. Will Warren's better at home than on the road. Clark Schmidt's out for the season. Luis Hill's coming back. You really need 3 solid starters in the playoffs. And in game 4, if you want to do an opener with the super pen the Yanks have, you can pull that off. As far as the Mets go, I believe Minaya and Senga will be fine. Trying to get back to what they were. And come this upcoming month now, the kid glove is going to have to come off and just let them go. If they're going to get hurt, they're going to get hurt. It's not meant to be. But I love the starting rotation with Peterson, Senga, Minaya at the top, and you got Holmes. And I know I'm missing somebody because I have a brain fart right now. I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing, Pete?
Why am I having a fart now too? You have Minaya,
Montas.
Yep.
Oh, Frankie Montas.
There you go.
The Yankee fan had to come in and save the day for us.
I got you.
Yeah, Frankie Montas.
That's favorite player.
I'd be shocked if he's on the playoff roster. I'd be shocked.
But he's another guy who if you want to move him to the pen, he's done it before in his career. He's come out of the pen, and then all of a sudden he's a strength out there too. I don't mind a Montas start, to be quite honest. I know that he's not great. He'll give you some good starts here and there. He's not going to have flashy numbers by the end of the season, but he's going to be somebody who can eat innings, right? Like he's one of the guys who is getting into the 6th inning with relative consistency, whether he's giving up 1 run or 4. So I don't mind the Montas stuff. I had this conversation. I shouldn't say I had this conversation. I was there for a conversation with Evan and Tiki as I was producing for them last week. And Evan had this exercise that I thought was interesting. I'd like to do it with you guys. If you have the starters right now for the playoffs for the New York Mets, I think it's relatively simple. Like you just explained here, it's going to be Peterson, Minaya, Senga, and hopefully it's going to be Clay Holmes as well. Right. For the Yankees, on the other hand, it's Fried, Rodon. Do you actually believe Will Warren is going to make it to the playoff rotation here? Luis Hill, we'll see what happens tomorrow, but who is the guy who you're going to point to for the Yankees front and say that's going to be the 3rd guy? Or is it just heel or bust? Like Will Warren, does he have a real chance to get there?
It's got to be heel or bust. That's really it. Like stuff wise, what you want, a guy that can actually go out and dominate a playoff caliber offense. The heel's the only guy. I know Warren he's been good, been touch and go, a lot better at home,
and
but
Schlittler.
and Schlittler, but like that's a very raw, pitcher, guy that's still trying to kind of feel his way into the majors. So, it's heel or bust, at least for me.
When it comes to the Yankees starting rotation, I agree with you, Pete. It's a lot of question marks, especially after Rodon. But when you look at Will Warren, he just upped his value his last start against the Tampa Bay Rays. 6 innings, amazing pitching by Will Warren, getting out of trouble. Will Warren is also in the top 10 when it comes to strikeout, not just in the American League, but in all of baseball. So Will Warren has gotten better as the season has gone on. As long as he doesn't pitch against the Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays, we good, because those are the only teams that he got destroyed by, right? But again, it's the Blue Jays who we could face in the ALCS or the ALDS, and then, the ALCS, and then it's the Dodgers if they get to the World Series. But the one thing that I'm worried about that happened today in this trade deadline, because Yankee fans, Met fans, we love a Subway Series conversation, right? A Subway Series, World Series, we love that conversation. You got Cedric Mullins, a Yankee killer. In 22 at-bats in Citi Field, the boy's hitting .429 with an on-base percentage over 500. It's a small sample size, but .429 is better than the .129 you guys had throwing out there in center field.
Plus, he's got pop, 15 homers. I know he's batting 230, 229. He's got 15 homers. He's going to play a solid center field. You don't have to move anybody out of position. Tyrone Taylor could be a late game replacement defensively because he's an automatic out. It's just painful to watch his at bats. I think he's like 2 for his last 97 and a half. It's just awful what he's been. And then you have, Alonso and Lindor, the last 50 games batting under 200. I think it's the worst in the league of everyday players. Soto was dealing with his bone bruise. It's time for the other guys to step up. The Vientos of the world, the Alvarez of the world, to pick up the slack. And Lindor and Alonso have to pick up the slack too for Soto. But at the end of the day, I think it's a 2-team race, Mets, Phillies. I said that before the season even started. Some of you bitch asses kept saying Braves, and I told you no. They don't have the staff. And look at the Braves now. They got Carlos Carrasco pitching. They gave him a bomb to Ellie De La Cruz.
Yankee and Met, great. Be nice.
Yeah, listen, Carlos Carrasco, cancer survivor. I'm never gonna destroy him like that, but come on, he shouldn't be the majors anymore. It's over with.
Their entire staff, the entire opening day staff is on the 60-day IL. Like, they're done.
Crazy.
They're absolutely done.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And that shining moment was destroying the Mets in Atlanta, and then from that point on, it was downhill from there for them. So. Yeah. The National League's a gauntlet. It's going to be interesting to see if the Padres, man, I hope they fall on their face. I really do, because they trade everybody and their grandmother today. They didn't get this guy didn't give a fuck in San Diego. And then the Dodgers, they wanted Stephen Kwan. I didn't want to get him. I'm glad they didn't get him.
Same.
They picked up what's his name from the Twins at the bullpen, solid. Dodgers, listen, the National League is wide open. So why not us? And as far as the American League, the Yankees got what they're going to be. Guys coming off the IL going to be rejoining the bullpen, joining the roster. It's just, can this rotation, if the Yankees suffer another starting rotation injury, it's a wrap. They cannot afford any of these guys to go down. They're already hanging on by a thread. Marcus Stroman, come on, enough of that guy too, man. But I don't think any fan should be complaining about this deadline. You really, really can't. If your argument for Met fans, I wanted Robert Jr. Why? Tell me why you wanted this guy so fucking bad who bats 200 and he looks so disinterested when he's out there. Maybe it's because he's in Chicago and they stink, but you can't be losing your shit for Luis Robert Jr., who's going to be making $20 million next year, by the way, as well. And the Yankee fans can't complain either. You wanted the bullpen fixed. You made a bunch of moves. You got it. Now it's time for your Will Warren. It's sink or swim for him, too. Step up. Luis Hill, make sure he's good to come playoff time. And then you have your top 3 guys and hopefully calls for donuts and shit to bed.
This is exactly why I've been so adamant for both the Mets and Yankees, saying it's time to push forward. And for a little while there, when Austin Slater was the big news yesterday for the New York Yankees, I'm like, oh my God, are they not going to do anything? Are the Yankees going to sit pat? Well, no, listen, nothing against Austin Slater. It ain't flashy. It ain't splashy. It's not going to do crazy work for he's an average player. He's fine.
That's Aaron Judge insurance. You know?
No, of course. And I get that. But again, I was thinking to myself, are they going to do nothing right here? And then obviously they got busy today. And that was important because I've been saying that for weeks on this show, on my show, on social media. The Yankees have a chance to win. Like Al just said, this league is wide open in both the American and National League side. Any team who sees themselves in the playoffs this year should be pushing forward. The Mets did it. The Padres did it. The Yankees did it. Some other teams did it. And that's what they should be doing. The Astros got Carlos Correa back, but I want to talk about Cedric Mullins really quickly because I think something that I thought was very good for his prospects with the Mets here. In his time this year in 2025, he had a little bit of an injury run for a second, but he mostly has been healthy. He's had 18 games batting first in the lineup and then 1 in 3 games batting third and fourth. Mostly it's been first, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. That's where most of his games are at right now. And thankfully with this Mets lineup, this is a guy who is going to be batting probably seventh or eighth in this lineup for the most part. And that's where his best numbers are by far. He's got a 767 and a 775 OPS when he's batting seventh or eighth. He's got a 270 average when he's batting eighth. When he batted first, which was 18 games, 170. So this is a guy who will probably do better in a better lineup. So you now put him behind, Mark Vientos or Jeff McNeil. Oh, McNeil's lefty, so he'll be behind Vientos or behind Alvarez or in front of Alvarez, whatever it is. Like that makes a lot of sense. And it's like the same concept of moving Ryan Stanek to like this bulk bullpen arm. He's not going to be in super high leverage situations. That should make him better. Putting Mullins in a situation where he's not like, oh, dude, you got to hit home runs or we're going to suck on offense. Like, no, what we get from him offensively is going to be icing on the cake. And I think that puts him in a great spot to succeed in this lineup.
Well, he's not. Yeah, go ahead.
Perfect spot. I was gonna say real quick, perfect spot for Mullins. You put him in that ninth hole.
Yeah.
That's where you put him.
But there's a problem with that. There's a problem with that because if Nimble's batting leadoff, now you got lefties back to back. I don't know if they're gonna split them up.
I thought eighth would be good for that reason. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a valid point out. But if you have him 8th or 9th, regardless, if he's somebody at the end of your lineup and he could get on base in front of a potential Nimmo, Lindor, and Soto and Alonso with his speed, he's going to cause a lot of damage at the bottom of that lineup. Whether it's 8th, 9th, 7th, whatever it is, he's going to do some work for the New York Mets. And again, I implore you, he is a Yankee killer. I have seen so many big hits, so many home runs. Andrew could tell you as well, so many big stolen bases from Cedric Mullins over the years. The past 3 years, it's been bad because he's been on a downturn because the Orioles have been really bad and stuff. But Cedric Mullins has been a Yankee killer when he first came up.
He's not the MVP caliber player that he was. I think it was like 2021 was his like career year where he hit like 30 bombs and stole 30. You did like a 30-30, but like he's still an above average player that like plays a great center field. Again, gets on base, steals some bags, has a little bit of pop. He's exactly, the upgrade. He's kind of like the Ryan McMahon of, Mets for the center field for the Mets. The Yankees had such a hole at third base, and McMahon, he's not a spectacular player, but he's such an upgrade there. And Mullins is such an upgrade over Tyrod Taylor and whoever else the Mets were throwing out in center field. So, like, whatever, again, he's not a superstar, but whatever he's going to give you is going to be such an upgrade, and I feel like Met fans are really going to enjoy watching him play some baseball.
If I can real quick, when it comes to the Yankees, right? Because we brought up the Blue Jays where the Yankees stand in the division and stuff like that. And this is where sometimes context matters, right? Andrew, so far, we've been having a nice conversation. You seem like one of the Yankee fans that I could agree with. I hate like 98% of the Yankee fans. You look like you're in that 2% that I could vibe with. That's why I like you. That's why you're friends with Pete and I'm friends with Pete. So I appreciate you. But when you look at where the Yankees are at right now, right, with all the issues going on from the left-hand side of the infield, with the Anthony Volpe issues, with the injuries, with the bullpen, with the starting rotations, the Yankees are still 3.5 games behind the Toronto Blue Jays. The same Toronto Blue Jays that are 1 game behind the Brewers for the best record in all of Major League Baseball. So with all the ups and downs the Yankees have had this year, with all the missteps the Yankees have had, we are literally right there. I'm not scared of the Toronto Blue Jays. And you add in David Bednar, you add in Camilo Duvall, you add in the conversation of moving Luke Weaver back to the 7th inning or the 6th inning coming out of that bullpen. And then on top of the additions that are coming back from the IL, Fernando Cruz, Luis Hill, Mark Leiter Jr., the Yankees, Brian Cashman, cooking with grease. And again, thank you, David Stern and the New York Mets, because I do not believe if you guys didn't make the moves that you guys did, I don't think Brian
But why do you
Cashman
say that?
would be
Why do
that
you
this
say that?
aggressive.
You know, it took David Stearns to do that. They're not in the same.
Because it took Stearns, it took Steve Cohen and David Stearns to do that, to put some grease, to put some fire under the Yankees in New York. Because as soon as the Mets signed Juan Soto, and Yankee fans was losing their collective mind on the internet, no less than 24 hours, the Max Fried
But
signing
they're
happened.
still losing this shit. It's July 31st. Juan Soto. I mean, heck,
If we didn't have Max, if we didn't have Max Fried, it would
well,
be
they
a
had to
lot worse.
overpay for
Come
him.
on.
You know, he wasn't even their first, second, or third choice. You know, they had to give him the extra years to go there. They got it done. Good for them. I'm not saying anything about that, but you know, Cashman, they had to make the moves. It could be House being a little sus, but they were trading for guys for team control. They weren't looking for rentals, so they have guys on the roster for next year. They wanted team control guys. Like, I don't understand this thing where I know Yankees hug on to their prospects. I mean, Jason Dominguez, like you said, we talked about that. He's been a Yankee since he was 6 years old, and you've lowered this kid's value. Like, you had him. He came up in a small, the season to make the playoffs. He killed it. Then you bring him up last year with Scooble when he sucks versus lefties last year. So right away, the kid's got no confidence. And then this year, you move him out of his position. He gets killed in spring training, rightfully so, because he can't catch a damn fucking fly ball in left field. You move him out of his position, and now his value is not what it once was, neither. So what are you doing? I heard Tiki say on the radio today, he's only going to trade Spencer Jones for Paul Skeens. Well, then you're going to have Spencer Jones for a long time in the fucking Yankees, because Skeens, he's not getting traded this year. He's not getting traded next year. And then 2027, we might not even have baseball. We might not have baseball in 2027 because of
they're losing the whole season. They're losing the whole season
so it's these next 2 years. If you want to win a World Series, this is the time to go for it. Fuck it. But the Yankees, they were smart they was calculated. They got guys on the team control. So next year they're gonna have, they have Ryan McMahon. They'll have these bullpen arms they brought in. Duvall. They're gonna have all these guys on the roster next year. Most of them, because they're losing Devin Williams. He's a free agent. He ain't coming back. Luke Weaver's going to be free agent. Somebody's going to throw a boatload of money to go close for them somewhere. It's going to happen. Hello, Anaheim Angels of California, whatever the fuck they call now. They'll throw a boatload of money at them. If Edwin Diaz opts out, he's going to be an Angel too. They'll throw a boatload of money at him as well. But I thought the Yankees were smart with their moves. They didn't have to give any of their top prospects, even though their farm system is not the greatest. But they got team control guys, so they could plan for this run now and also next season.
Yeah. And like I said, credit where credit is due. No top 5 prospects from the Yankees were traded. No top 100 prospects are traded. You may not be high on Spencer Jones, but when Spencer Jones was first drafted, right, his first amateur year, Baseball America wrote an article predicting at the end of the minor league season that Spencer Jones was going to be the number 1 prospect in all of Major League Baseball. He got injured. He never lived up to that potential. You see right now the improvement that Spencer Jones has done in the middle of the season. Al, I don't care about the batting average. I can give 2 shits about the home runs, the RBIs, on base percentage. You know what numbers I care about with Spencer Jones? At the start of the season, he was at a 40% strikeout rate. He's at 25% right now. That right there, to me, in the middle of the season, you make that drastic improvement, shows me you can hack it at the big league level. That was his biggest
gripe by far, right? I was like, oh, he can hit bombs, but my man can't stop striking out. Like, if he changes that up, the power's going to stay with him. Absolutely. He's also grading out as a pretty great defensive outfielder on top of it all. Yeah. So all that size and all that strength is starting to seem like it might be real. So I couldn't agree more. It feels good to keep holding on to him. But I'm just so happy that, fans here seem to come to this realization, like, you have to risk it for the biscuit a little bit. And the Mets and Yankees both did that a little bit. Yeah. They did it without giving up the major guys to go for major swings. Obviously, they didn't go for super high risk moves here. If you want to complain about, this package was too much, that package was too much, we're talking about marginally too much, right? We're not talking about Jet Williams and Jonah Tung or Spencer Jones. We're talking about the 10th guy, the 12th guy. It's a little bit of a different thing. And now we can finally put to rest, for Mets fans and Yankee fans, but mostly at Yankee fans right now, this idea that they need to lose so Aaron Boone and Cashman can get fired, because it's asinine. And I know no one in this 4 square right here is saying craziness like that, because we try to be rational fans who look for our team to win. right?
Maybe.
But all these Yankee fans specifically out here, oh, screw it, we're cooked this year. Let's just lose so Boone can finally be fired. The Yankees have the second best odds in the AL to win the AL. What? No, this is when you keep pushing forward, bro. And Brian Cashman did his thing. He moved and he shaked. And right here, plus 400 to win the American League. The New York Mets, plus 450 to win the National League. They got the third best odds behind the Dodgers and Phillies. The Yankees only behind the Tigers. And I'll say it one more time for everybody at home. Are you scared of the Detroit Tigers? Are you scared of the Toronto Blue Jays?
They should be.
Come on.
They should be the Blue Jays.
Hold
If the
on,
series
Al,
is in Toronto, you should be.
There's a difference between respecting your opponent and being scared of them. If we fast forward to October right now and it's Yankees Blue Jays and you're a Yankee fan and you're scared saying we can't beat the Blue Jays, then you're a weak ass Yankee fan and you changed. That's what I'm gonna say. Because this team's supposed to have the confidence to go to the damn World Series every freaking year, and you were there last season. This offense is so much more balanced and better than it was last year. I'm so sick and tired of the Yankee fans who wanted to tank and lose and get Boone fired just to move on from that part of their life. No, this league is wide open, and the Yankees have as good a chance as anybody, and the Mets have as good a chance as anybody. So yeah, respect and be worried about your opponent, but don't be scared of the Tigers. They haven't proven nothing. Don't be scared of the Blue Jays. They haven't proven nothing, Al.
In 98 games this season, right? Cody Bellinger. Now, this is an offense without Aaron Judge right now. We understand that. Judge definitely will be coming back. I don't think he's going to be out for a month like a lot of people are talking about. But Cody Bellinger, in 98 games this year with the New York Yankees, he already has 20 home runs. Last year with the Chicago Cubs, he played 130 games. He only hit 18 home runs.
Better. Yeah. Exponential.
And the Blue Jays, like that again, they're playing. You know, they have a good team. I'm not gonna say they're bad. I'm not gonna pull Michael Kay and say like, oh, they're not a playoff team. But like they're playing significantly like above their talent level right now. Like they only have like a plus 23 run differential. Like they're 64 and 46. Their expected win-loss record is 57 and 53. So they're playing 7 games above where they should be. And the Yankees have a 99 plus 99 run differential. So like the Yankees are playing a little bit below their talent level. The Blue Jays are playing a little bit above their talent level. But again, it's still July, like you got plenty of time to make up a 3.5 game lead in the division, so it's not over by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. And Pete, when was the last time, right? Like we've been watching New York sports for like our entire lives. When was the last time Brian Cashman at a trade deadline? And then Andrew, you can answer it as well. When was the last time he got 7 players?
It's usually one move. That's usually his thing, right? One in a marginal thing, maybe. You know what I mean? Like that's just not in his MO. And I don't know if you saw Keith's video that he had with Cashman the other day. And did you see that, Heck? Yeah, he was like
about him going all in.
I give mad props to Keith for asking the question because Keith goes on the radio and says all the time, Cash got to do more. Cash got to do more. So he saw Cash in person. He got his question and he said, what are we doing? Are we doing stuff? We want stuff to happen right now at this deadline. And Cash said, we're trying. We're going to try. We're going to try. And Keith goes to the camera. Well, you heard it. He's going to try. And my man did something. He made it happen.
I tell you this right now. When I was at the MLB All-Star game doing batting practice and stuff like that, Eugenio Suarez was talking to one of the Latino journalists that I know that works at that covers the games at Yankee Stadium in Citi Field. Somebody that I know was talking to him. He told that journalist that he already knows, him and his agent, they know that they're going to get traded, right? That was the conversation they was having. This past Monday, when I was at Yankee Stadium, he told me, right, that Eugenio Suarez told him and his agent thought they was getting traded to the Yankees because in the middle of June, Brian Cashman was calling up the Diamondbacks, engaging in conversations about Eugenio Suarez. So Brian Cashman back in June was already on the phones calling people up left and right. It's not Brian Cashman's fault that the Diamondbacks in the last hour of the trade, in the 11th hour, decided to up the ante because when the Yankees pivoted to Ryan McMahon, apparently the Diamondbacks was pissed off because they couldn't use the Yankees as leverage in conversation with the Brewers. Then they try to get the Brewers' number 1 pitching prospect, Wisniewski. That wasn't happening. And now they got the 16th and 19th prospect from the Mariners.
Yeah. That's shooting themselves in the foot right there. That's a classic like that. And that's what happens when you're the New York Yankees, right? It's what happens to Danny Ainge when he was with the Boston Celtics. Everyone's afraid to lose the deal with Brian Cashman. Oh, this guy wins deals. He wins deals. And then bang, you don't go with him? All right, bet. We got McMahon. We're good. We don't need you, right? So it happens. And obviously Suarez is a better player, but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, with Cashman, like, again, for as much as I have gripes with him, he does not. He sets the value of what he's going to give up. He doesn't go above that. He doesn't go beyond that. He doesn't wilt when kind of the going gets tough. If someone says, "Okay, the price is this X and Y," if that doesn't meet his match, he's perfectly okay with walking away and trying to figure something out. Like, he's not going to get extorted by a team and and give up the ghost especially for a non-elite player. Like, Suarez is a good offensive player, but he's a butcher at third base. Like, I think McMahon's a better fit for the roster as currently is because they have a problem defensively all over the place. So, and then Caballero, I think that was a really underrated move too. You give yourself Anthony Volpe insurance, in case, like, I don't know. Is he hurt? Is that why he's throwing the ball all over the place? Is that why he's icing his shoulder after every game? I don't know. But now you got a guy who leads MLB in stolen bases and could play a capable shortstop. Except he's not great offensively, but that's a great weapon to have off the bench in the postseason and gives, again, Anthony Volpe insurance going forward. We'll see how that goes.
Is that the guy who got into a fight? Didn't he get into a fight? The Tampa, he slid into the base. Was that him last year?
I don't know.
I'll look it up right
now. I think it was him who got into the fight. He slid into third base or second base, and then a fight happened last year. Tampa. It could be the wrong fellow Latino, so my bad for profiling my own people there. my bad. My bad for doing that. But Pete, I heard you say something about.
That was somebody totally different. It was a Blue Jay player named Genesis Cabrera that shoved him, and that's what happened. But he didn't initiate it. It was the other kid who shoved him, and then the bench is clear.
Met legend, I got it right here. Cabrera. Anyway, you said to me, Pete, about that you said, well, about the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are legit. Before the season started, they were my sleeper team. And they're legit, man. I if the games are in Canada, they're a different monster there. They just are. And I think that this is their time. If they're gonna do something, this is their time. You know how this operates with some of these teams. They have a little window, and then all of a sudden it's over with. They've been in on everyone. They wanted Ohtani, they wanted Yamamoto, they wanted Soto. They've been eager. Their holes have been burning. And now if they win this year, if they win the division, make the playoffs, make a deep run, maybe people will start wanting to go to Canada. Who the hell knows? Because they've been willing to spend money. So the Blue Jays to me, the Yankees' biggest threat until the Astros are getting all the daddies back together.
All the bangers.
I don't want to hear nothing Apple Watches, okay? The Yankees had Apple Watches. I do not want to hear that. Carlos Beltran, I do not want to hear that. It's the same thing. The Astros just got, they got away with it. But the Astros, give me Astros Yankees, please, in the playoffs one more time, please.
I want it. You know why I want it, Al? Because the only way this era of Yankee baseball, the Aaron Judge era, is gonna have any meaningful memories in Yankee history is if they beat the Houston Astros and get to the World Series and finally get a championship. They have to expel their demons and beat the Houston Astros. Point
it's almost
blank,
like
period.
a rite of passage for them.
Yeah, they had to do it in 2009 against the Angels. When the Angels, from 2002 to they knocked the Yankees out of the playoffs 3 separate times, and they finally beat them in 2009.
Horrible.
And end up winning a World Series. The Yankees.
I just had a flashback of Gary Sheffield's ass flying into Bubba Crosby's ass. I just had a flashback.
That's a lot of ass. A lot of ass. You thinking about that? A lot of ass.
When they put him at first base too.
Something about. Did you say something about your holes are burning? What did you order for food again, Al? You said your holes are burning?
I'm still waiting for my fucking food, man. The restaurant, I checked my order. That's why I keep hopping off. And it's the restaurant delivers their own shit, so my food is not here, man. I'm annoyed.
Oh.
Oh man, you should
Oh
have got
no,
that
I'm getting
Uber
that
Eats. That's
Grubhub
what happened.
guarantee
You
because
know.
once that it comes to the door, I'm clicking the time and get my damn bonus money. Fuck that.
Oh man, Pete, if
Yeah,
I could ask you real quick, right? Piggyback, and you could like lead the go around on this one. The surprising trade for me that I think kickstarted everything today was Mason Miller and the San Diego Padres. I know Al is trying to poo-poo on the Padres, saying, "Oh, they're stupid."
Whoa,
Whatever.
whoa, whoa!
I think the Padres.
I didn't poo poo on him. I said
No. You said.
I
Go ahead.
said
Go ahead.
that
I don't want to speak for you. I'm gonna
their
put
GM
words
did
in your
not
mouth.
give a fuck and said fuck them prospects. And he's like, I'm going for it. My
Oh,
thing with
okay.
Mason Miller, since you brought it up, since you brought
I
it up with
misspoke.
Mason
Sorry.
Miller is
Go ahead.
he's not having a great season. He's not,
right.
and he looks hittable. And the fact that he's never pitched in meaningful games, he's pitched in front of 6 fans at home. 6. They don't even have a fucking town. You
That's
go to
generous.
Fanatics. Yeah, you go to Fanatics. It just says A's. There's no fucking town. Like, he's gonna go to San Diego now and pitch. Is gonna go from 0 to 100. Dodgers, if it's a playoffs, Mets, playoff regardless who it is. We're gonna find out if Mason Miller was worth all that.
Yeah, and the reason I'm going to give the Padres the benefit of the doubt here is because I saw a comment on one of my TikToks that said, "Oh, don't you think the Padres regret all those prospects they gave up for Juan Soto?" I don't. I don't think they regret it. Guess what? The Padres are a
No.
playoff team right now, and when you're a playoff team, yeah, does it hurt to see James Wood absolutely cooking in Washington right now? Sure. Does it hurt to see Pete Crow Armstrong absolutely cooking in Chicago right now? Sure. But guess who's still a playoff team? The San Diego Padres. They're right in it. They're willing to spend. They're willing to make the moves. And when you are a team that is at the doorstep of winning a championship, there's only one way to go, and it's through that freaking door. And if you can't go through the door, you got to go find a window to slide through. So they constantly do that. And that's why I give them credit and I give them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, you give up prospects for a guy like that. Mason Miller's 26. There's a chance he could be good for a long time. So I get it. I think it's a good move. They scare me. Obviously, the Mets just got their asses swept by them, just the past couple days. So they do scare me a little bit. I'm not thinking that they're the cream of the crop, but I respect that they constantly are pushing forward, constantly trying to make themselves even closer to that championship window.
Wait, you mentioned the Padres, how we got our asses kicked. To me, it's kind of like right before the trade deadline is like right before the New Year's Eve, NBA on New Year's Eve. And
Right.
I don't put too much into that because players are worried about getting traded. The agents are telling them one thing, their mind might not be all the way in it, 100% in it. Now the deadline's over. Now we're gonna find out about all these guys. Can Vientos wake up, or is he had one great season? That's it. But
Vientos,
what happened? Yeah, he's playing much better. But the White Sox wanted Beatty and Acuna, or they wanted Vientos and Acuna. The Mets told him, go fuck yourselves for Louis Robert Jr.
yeah.
Yeah, that ownership group is horrible out there. Major League Baseball needs to do something. An investigation needs to happen. That owner, Jerry Reinsdorf, needs to be forced to sell his team, and this is why. He has no, thank God, because he has no incentive to put a winning product on the team. He has a deal with the city, which if the team does not sell more than 3 million tickets per season, he gets to keep everything at the door. Everything at the gate, they get to keep. If they don't sell more than 3 million tickets or more than 3 million people do not attend a Chicago White Sox game for the season. He has no incentive to put a winning product on the team. So thank you,
And he
Andrew.
also owns
I
the
could be
Bulls
happy
too,
now.
no? Yeah, and they're the trash heap of mediocrity as well. So that's just what he's all about, mediocrity.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's generous to the White Sox. They've been much worse than that.
Well, how old is Ruggs? He's like 90 something years old, right? Like he's like incredibly old, right?
Yeah, he's on life support.
Yeah, I think
He's 89. He's 89 and he's worth $2.3 billion according to Forbes.
Jeez.
must be
Jesus
nice.
Christ. Must be nice.
Yeah, I think
must be
he's
nice.
got the option to sell. I think he's selling it to somebody where he has team control for like the next year or two, but then he's got to give full control over by like 2027 or something like that. Yeah.
All right, so let's do what we do around these parts. I hate it, but you know what's going to be asked. Which New York team made out better? Or you think it's even across the board? The Yankees or the Mets?
I want Heck to go first.
Damn.
Hey, you put him on.
I would say both teams exponentially got better. Can I choose which team got better than no? No, it's kind of hard for me because I'm a Yankee fan and I'm biased, right? Obviously, I want to say the Yankees do. But when you look at both teams, Edwin Diaz for the New York Mets was already having a better season than Devin Williams and Luke Weaver, right? You add on Presley, who you got from San Francisco.
Rogers.
Who you got from
Helsley.
St.
Yeah,
Louis.
Helsley.
And then Rogers. And then
Helsley.
what happened? Helsley, I said Presley. Helsley.
Yeah, you're thinking of Ryan Presley, the Yankees'
Cardinals.
daddy, when he was on the Astros. Yeah.
And then you got Rogers from San Francisco. That three-headed monster at the end of the bullpen is scary. Automatically, after the seventh inning, the game is over for the New York Mets. You guys have a victory. You guys have the lead. 90% of the chance you can lock that in as a victory for the Mets. The bullpen was the glaring issue for both New York teams, and both New York teams upgraded them tremendously. Al, you brought up the starting rotation, but when you see how baseball is right now in the postseason, yeah, you got Carlos Rodon and Max Fried as your 1 and 2. There's a lot of rest days in between. You could use your bullpen a lot for game 3 and still have your number 1 and 2 guys ready for the next game.
The deciding factor for me is, again, both bullpens got exponentially better. But I think in terms of the Yankees, they had a major problem being able to hit left-handed pitching, and they addressed that in spades with Rosario and Slater. And then they got Caballero, and they fixed their whole complete just nothing. It was a trash heap at third base. For most of the season, they got McMahon there. So I think that's the tiebreaker for me. Not trying to sound like a homer, but the Yankees had a significant weakness against left-handed pitching that they addressed across the board. So I think they'll be able to mix and match in the outfielders, especially, Judge comes back, you're going to be able to put in a bunch of right-handed batters against lefties. Gives you better matchups in the postseason. So if I'm going to make a choice, I think it's going to be the Yankees, because I think third base was a bigger hole than center field was for the Mets.
Ryan McMahon in his first week as a New York Yankee, .357 batting average, over .450 on base percentage, .900 OPS, and a .179 WRC plus. That is an automatic impact
making plays in the field too,
immediately.
man. He was making some great plays at third base. Like, that's fantastic. That's exactly what you want from him.
Mm-hmm. You're like, oh shit, wow. That's what a third baseman look like.
It's amazing.
He's awesome at third base in the field. So I would say he's more than competent, but I know what you mean by saying that in that regard. But I'll say this, and this is going to sound like a little bit of a cop-out. I think that the New York Yankees did better at the deadline, but I think the New York Mets are the better team after the deadline. I think that the holes in which the Yankees needed to fill, there was more, and they did so. The Mets really just needed to add an outfielder and bullpen arms. And obviously, they both need starters. They both didn't add starters. Bro. I think now with this bullpen for the Mets and Cedric Mullins, combined with the young guys coming around, Vientos, Beatty, Alvarez, Mauricio, who's been freaking awesome for a week or two now. And this is happening with Lindor, Soto, and Alonso not hitting. I think the Mets are in a better position overall, but I think from a trade deadline grade perspective, I would give a slight nod to the Yankees on what they accomplished at the deadline, if that kind of makes sense. And it's kind of a cop-out, because I said the Mets are better, but the Yankees had a better deadline.
No, I can't. I agree with you on that. I'm not going to fight you on that. One thing I can say is that I'm not going to lie. Jeff McNeil in center field, he was really looking like a squirrel out there.
He was so wiry out there. He wasn't terrible out in center field, but you also knew there's a difference, right? Like,
you shouldn't be there. You knew
even Acuna, right? Luis Angel Acuna went to center field and made this play where he covered so much ground. A pretty simple dive. It wasn't like spectacular, right? If Jeff McNeil had to make that play, it would have looked like wild. He might have made the play, but it would have looked crazy. Acuna made it look super easy. Like, Cedric Mullins is going to make that play in his sleep, right? And that's the difference. Like, McNeil's been fine out there. He's getting the job done out there, but he's not good out in center field. So adding that was phenomenal. So I'm happy to see a guy like Cedric Mullins command the outfield.
Yeah, you there, Al?
Yeah, I'm here. We got Pete's mic. I think his ham got stuck in his throat, so the mic froze.
Oh no, he was good. Maybe it was just your hand over there. Ham? But no, I gotta agree.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Pause. I'm good. I'm good.
Press play.
I agree with what you said, Pete. I think both teams address what need to be addressed. It's rare that you get everything that you need. The Mets went into the trade deadline, wanted to bolster the bullpen, especially the back end, and get a center fielder. Mission accomplished. The Yankees got a third baseman. The Yankees addressed hitting against left-handers. The Yankees upped their bullpen. I think both teams did a fantastic job. I think both teams are winners. I'm not gonna. I think for what they were looking for, mission accomplished. Now, I think the Mets are the better team overall. But it's going to be tough in the National League. But the Yankees and the Mets, I can't say who won the deadline. I think they both won. I give them A pluses across the board. They address, and now if they would have walked away with nothing or minimal, all hell would have broke loose around these parts. It would have been great for sports talk radio. I'll tell you that. I would just had to just answer the phone and let them talk. But with I think this is the jolt that both New York fan bases needed. The Mets were off today. The Yankees played a 12-hour game. And then, which is crazy. And then tomorrow, who do the Yankees play tomorrow?
Marlins.
The Yankees head out on the road.
Luis Hill makes a start. Yeah, Luis Hill. Okay, cool. And then, that's exciting for Yankee fans as well. New bullpen. Luis Hill returns. And then the Mets, they come home and all their weapons are going to be there. I have a question. Have you seen Ryan Helsley's entrance yet? I posted it.
Hell's Bells?
Yeah. Is he going to get that being the 7th inning guy or 8th inning guy?
Yeah,
because Edwin Diaz gets the trumpets and the whole,
the
kit and caboodle. He gets everything. Will he get the same thing, Helsley?
We're doing participation trophies with entrances now. Is that what we're doing?
Well, the Yankees opened that door when they had one for Clay Holmes last year when they bit off the Mets. Okay, this is it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, give it to me.
I wouldn't mind.
I think that you play the song. For sure, you play the song. Maybe he only gets the light show if it's like a huge spot, big spot.
Oh, if he closes the game?
Well, if he's closing, then you give it to him, obviously. If he's going in for the 9th in a closed situation, you give it to him in a save situation. If it's the 8th inning, you play the song and let him run in.
Pete, come on, Pete. We in 2025. We gotta make baseball fun, bro.
No, there's a reason. I'm saying what I think is going to happen.
There's a reason. Listen, as somebody who suffers from ADHD, right? I tell you this right now. When I'm working the games, when I'm in the press box, right? I'm there. I'm editing. As soon as bells, music, lights dim, I'm looking up. I'm paying attention. I'm seeing who's coming out there. So if you want to have people engaged, if you want people to be paying attention, personally, me. Have it be 7th, 8th, and 9th. You guys get an entrance or whatever like that. If you come in the 5th inning, you get a music. That's it. Besides that, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
I think his first time coming into the game as a Met at Citi Field, he has to have it. I think the first time you have to do that. And then if he has a great outing, you just continue to do it. It's all based on his first outing. If he gives up 6 runs, 6 hits or whatever, then he can take his bells and shove them up his ass.
Gotta earn it,
bro. If Jose Iglesias had a fucking concert last year, all right. If he had a concert last year, if there was fucking music videos going on after every video, why can't my man get his entrance?
Hold on. Let's be reasonable here, though. If they're losing, do you want him to get the light show? Come on, let's be real. They have to be winning at least.
I mean, it's situational.
You gotta pump up.
No. If Helsley's coming in the 7th inning and the Mets are down 5-1, no, we don't need the. We don't need the light show.
Situational. Situational.
They're up 5-1.
Absolutely.
Play the bells, baby. Let's go. Shake them.
I'm looking forward to it. Any of these guys the Yankees pick up have crazy entrances or no?
I don't know. I think that was part of the scouting process that the Yankees did. They didn't want anybody any fucking.
Wait, now here's a real question. Devin Williams still the closer, right?
Yes.
We're all good on that.
Yeah, that's what Boone said.
Who is the next high leverage guy? Is it still Weaver, or is it going to be one of these other closers now? Is going to actually get some of these bigger moments? Like Weaver is such a Swiss Army knife that I don't know. I can see Booney saying Weavy go out there.
Did you just say Booney? Oh,
Weavy.
Don't be hating on Booney and
God.
Weeby, bro.
Come on, bro.
Hey,
Stop with the fucking everything.
Everyone gets a Y. Everyone gets a Y at the end of it.
Yo, Al, he calls me Hecky, all right, bro? Don't be hating, okay?
So, yo,
like, Hecky, I appreciate the question.
Booney's going to say, Weavy, I need you in the 6 today. And then, Slady's going to come in and play defense for Judgy, and it's going to be great.
And Dovey's going to.
And then you have Sleepy,
and Belly,
Mimi,
and Belly, and Wellesley, and oh my God, it's fucking horrendous. Birdie.
He's got a birdie back there. I'm pissed. I hated Birdie. I don't know why it bothered me.
You got another birdie. You got another
Only
birdie.
one who got birdies is
back
Alan
in the
Heck, who got the birdies telling him about, Eugenio Suarez's manager and stuff like that. That's the birdies.
No, but Pete, what did I text the group chat last night? What names did I say? Sandy and Edward Cabrera. And what names were linked to the Yankees today?
Birdies
Sandy and Edward Cabrera. The birdies was chirping. It went from Jason Dominguez and Will Warren to Spencer Jones, and the Yankees then adding that reliever. And once the Yankees added that reliever, said, "This is what I want," the Marlins said no.
Inside scoop.
They were trying to get A+ prices for Alcantara. Like, he's doing better lately, but he's still got an ERA at like close to 7. So you're trying to sell high. Yankees are trying to buy low. And he hasn't exactly regained Cy Young form. Like, he's doing better, but he's still not good.
No.
So, I wouldn't give up the farm for him either. I'm like, they'll definitely deal him in the offseason because they're not going to.
And it's not like he's cheap. He's making $18 million this year, next year. Like, he's going to be making $21 million in a couple of seasons.
Definitely not worth giving up top prospects for. Like
Sandy, he already has an E though on a Y on his name. He could have been perfect. Sandy.
No,
Sandy
God.
E.
And he's under team control for this contract's not that bad, especially if you get this act together. So.
Yeah. Well,
I think
starting
Cabrera
is
the real get there. I think anyway. I think he's the better get than Alcantara.
Well, if he listen, Tommy John, if he ends the season, from here on out he pitches well. The Marlins are going to get better offense. I think that's what they're banking on this offseason, getting bigger and better offense. If he continues this, somebody smarten up in the Marlins organization and say, you know what? He's pitched great for 2 starts. Maybe in offseason we get a bigger haul. Let's just hopefully he pitches the same way, close to this the rest of the season, and we should get a nice 4 or 5 play haul for him.
Yeah, 100%.
Who do you guys have as like the biggest winners from today's trade deadline, and who would you say are the biggest losers? Right, you can say not just from today, but just the overall trade the past week for the
All right, I got a loser for you. Ready? What are the Red Sox doing? Losers. That's one right there. You get back in it. You get Steven Matz, but Chapman's hurting. Correct from what I was told today by my Red Sox friend. Who else did it? The Blue Jays got Bieber, but that's more for next year, I think. Let's see what he does this year, but I think it's more for next year. Who else? The Twins.
Go ahead.
I mean, if I'm a Twin fan, what are you doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I was going to bring up the people that the Twins traded with because I hate to say this, but the Philadelphia Phillies got Yohan Duran. And they get Harrison Bader to shore up their outfield. And those are 2 very nice pieces for them that, as a Mets fan, I don't want to see Yohan Duran in a big moment. He's freaking awesome.
His entrance is, I don't know if you saw his entrance neither. His entrance is The Undertaker.
Oh, God.
His entrance is Undertaker.
Fire.
Now, you know what's going to be beautiful when Mets are in Philly? I got to see the next time they're there. And that Undertaker music comes on, and Juan Soto puts 500 fucking feet.
Hell yeah.
And then we end that fucking shit. So again, it's a whole nother story when you pitch in a small market. When you go to a market that actually cares and the fans actually care, you find out what somebody's made of. So these moves that look great right now, we're gonna find that there it is. You got it right there, right? Yeah, I mean this is yeah.
But the thing is, it hits different as we're all WWE nerds. I'm not sure about Andrew, but he's Pete's friend, so I'm assuming. So we'll definitely look a lot better.
I mean, these are great. This is great stuff, but in Philly, he better close it because
he'll get shredded.
Oh, yeah, he will get traded. And remember, they don't have Alvarado
He'll be in
neither.
a buried alive match. Yeah, because he's out. I mean, I
He's
think
out.
winners. Would you go Mariners as well? Maybe the Astros, perhaps as well.
Wait, did you see Suarez's numbers though in Seattle? He struck out the most in his career there, and he you know that's. I don't know if is he actually happy going back to Seattle. He wasn't so good.
Yeah. Seattle's where good hitting players go to die. Like like Julio Rodriguez. Like everyone like hypes him up to be the superstar. Like he's very mid, very mid. Like he's a good player, but like he didn't deserve to be an all-star this year. You kidding me? He has like a 680 OPS, and he went to the All-Star game because he's a name more than an actual good baseball player.
There's a lot of guys. I mean, All-Star game back in the day used to mean something. Now it's just. Oh, I can't make it. I'm going to go on vacation with my family. All right, let's get this fucking ninth stringer to see if he wants to be an all-star.
Yeah.
Come on. It's definitely not what it used to be. So, biggest loser, I said Red Sox. Do we have another one? National League loser? Dodgers?
Cubs?
Yeah, what did the Cubs do? Did they do anything?
Not much.
I would say the Cubs, they got the Willie Castro from the Minnesota Twins at like the last. I would say to me, you got to throw the Dodgers in there, right? Because the Dodgers were heavy in on Steven Kwan, and the asking price was their top outfielder, DePaula. I always butcher his first name, but he's a Brooklyn kid, Puerto Rican, Afro-Boricua. I love him. I had a conversation with him at the MLB All-Star Weekend. He loves chopped cheese over the slice of pizza. So how you doing? But yeah, that was what the asking price was from the Cleveland Guardians. The Dodgers said no, and rightfully so, because that kid's going to be a superstar. It would have been a scenario of like the Mets trading Pete Crow Armstrong. That's how this kid is. He already has his offensive tools already. He's like a year or two away from the big.
Well, they're trying to trade they're trying to hype up their, what's his name? The catcher. The catcher's trash. No. That's it.
Dalton Rushing. Yeah, Dalton Rushing. He's okay. He has good defensive tools. It's just his bat is still
he did great in
still
AAA,
lacking.
but the problem is he's a backup now. He's like Will Smith is like the best catcher in baseball, and now he's like the backup. He's playing like twice a week, so like he can't really get going offensively. And you're trying to learn the league. I'm still pretty high on him. He killed it in AAA, so. But I'm surprised they didn't deal him for somebody, because again, Will Smith is signed for like the next 8 years. So like, what do you need Dalton Rushing for?
That's what they was trying. That's what they was trying to send to Cleveland, and the Guardians. No, they have Bo Naylor. It's like, we don't need any. We need outfielders. We want outfielders, and you have the number one prospect that we want. And the Dodgers said no. So rightfully so. Shout out to Cleveland. They stuck through it.
Yeah, but they got their own problems. They got the Dominican pitching scandals. They got they got their own problems in fucking Cleveland, and Emmanuel Clase getting suspended. That was a big deal for this bullpen, Marcus. I think he would have got moved. I really think he would have got moved.
Yeah, same.
So
he would have been with the Phillies.
Bullpen arms, bro. It seems like everyone was just like sending and taking bullpen arms left and right. It's massive, and I think that's where the league is right now. That's like when you see the pitchers go 5 and you have old man screaming at cloud. My day, the pitchers went 7-8 innings. Like, all right, that's great. I wish it was still that way, but it's not. It's just not like that anymore.
For the money these starting pitchers get, they should be pitching 6 innings minimum. Like this 5 innings bullshit.
I agree, but it was unfortunately that's not true.
It's just a rare breed of guys now. There's only like 15 guys in the league that can do that now, like on a regular basis. That's like
I'm so pumped. We talked about Manaea before. Al, you said getting the handcuffs off him or whatever terminology you use. Like that's a guy who is going to say, "I don't care. I'm going back out there. If I'm feeling good, I'm getting people out. Put me back out there." He wanted to go back out there desperately in his last start for one more inning.
Yeah,
pitch limit, whatever. He's one of the rare breeds that is going to push himself beyond the limit, and perhaps it hurt him last year because in the playoffs he ran out of some steam. But perhaps him starting his season halfway through this year, he won't have that happen. But he's one of those guys who's a rare breed and is going to go and push and push and push.
Well, the whole rotation was gassed in the Mets last year. The fact that they even made it to Game 6 with everything that was going on, I was so proud of them. It was the one season as a Met fan. But a lot of Met fans unanimously were happy with the season, which is rare for Met fans. Not this year. It's time to, after these moves, we can hang with anybody right now. It's just our young guys got to step up.
So let's do this now, if we may, because we're going to close up, I'm sure, in a few minutes here.
Yeah, but before you do that, Pete, because it's something you mentioned that I meant to touch on. We talked about guys we didn't trade. Minor leagues. We also didn't trade Mauricio, Vientos, Acuna, or Beatty just to trade them. Like everybody's like, oh, they're gonna get rid of one of these guys. They're gonna get rid of these guys. Acuna in the postseason on his roster, whether to play late game defense or steal a base late in the game, that's a weapon. Now you can't just that's a weapon. The Mets didn't get rid of any of these guys, which means we'll see in the offseason, they're going to have these guys, if they want to trade them, to go get a Sandy Alcantara if he continues to pitch well. So we just need the young guys to step up as well. But I'm glad we didn't trade any of these guys just to trade them.
Facts. I'm so happy that Mark Vientos and Ronnie Mauricio specifically are New York Mets right now. I could have seen Beatty go and lived with it. Acuna, like you said, he's a weapon. I didn't want to see him go, but if he did, I would have lived with it. I am thrilled that Mark Vientos is a New York Met and that Ronnie Mauricio is a New York Met. I think those two guys over the last week and a half are proving that the 6, 7, 8, 9 of this lineup can make differences, can truly win them games, because frankly, they've won them games in the last 2 weeks because the 1, 2, 3, 4 can't freaking hit. So I love all those dudes. I'm thrilled that we have them. I'm so glad we didn't trade them for nonsense, because in my eyes, if you trade a Mark Vientos and a Ronnie Mauricio, you're trading them for somebody who's at least those levels of talent and prospects that can be a part of your team for that amount of years. You're not going for a rental from one of those guys. So I think Vientos can help this team win this postseason. I think Mauricio can help them win this postseason.
Yep.
And if that's true, you don't trade them for a guy who's decent. You just don't.
Robert Jr.
Right.
I would say, and this is my last point, a winner for me when it comes to this trade deadline, doesn't matter, American or National League, is the Seattle Mariners. The Seattle Mariners desperately needed to add offense, and over the past week, they added Josh Naylor, who I'm a big fan of. I love his energy, and they added Eugenio Suarez. Eugenio Suarez's defense is suspect. We understand that. But Seattle felt that they're good defensively and they're pitching. They needed to add offense, and they added two guys. Now you got a guy next to Kyle Riley that could dump as well. He's played in Seattle before. I like the Seattle Mariners. And now when you look to the local teams, the Yankees and the Mets, this has been the best trade deadline for both teams at the same time. I do not remember the last time, being a sports fan over the past 20, 25 years, that both the Yankees and Mets were this active at the trade deadline, both trying to go for a deep postseason run. I don't remember the last time this happened.
I feel like a lot of teams were just active. Like, I feel like there was just a flurry of deals, like from like 5:45 to 6 o'clock. There was like 20 deals that like came through like the last minute. I feel like the last couple of years it's been a lot slower at the deadline. Maybe it was like one major move, one or two, but like I feel like there was 1,000 moves that came in just across the league. Like, this is probably one of the best trading deadlines ever.
I really hope that I thought the Adolis Garcia trade was real. I thought that was real. And I was like, yeah, that's going all in. That, because you guys had Cedric Mullins already, and then Adolis Garcia. Yeah, that's going all in. I thought that was real.
You got Arson Adolis Garcia.
Yeah, but did you see it was breaking news? BRAKING.
And then he said he got hacked. I was like, okay, buddy. Yeah, okay.
He didn't get hacked.
No, I believe he got hacked. He definitely got hacked. Yeah, I believe Mikey Deportes got hacked.
Everybody's saying RIP.
He was first with the Vladimir Guerrero extension. He's been first with like a lot of stuff. He's very connected with a lot of the Dominican baseball players. He has like him, Hector Gomez. They're connected with the baseball players. I met him at the winter meetings and at the All-Star break.
Beauchamp?
I'm not connected, bro.
It's okay to be wrong, man. It's just okay to say, hey, I fucked that up. I got wires got crossed. Just say, I got it wrong. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, just say it. My source was wrong.
Yeah, I jumped the gun or whatever.
I don't know. Yeah. Say I got hacked, and I'm like, I don't know.
The same way I would have had to say about Juan Soto, Pete.
Yes, you
That
would
he
have.
was, when I said it for 2 years that he was going to be a Met, even before he was traded to the Yankees, from what I was told, it's going to be a Met. Pete, you worked with me. You see all these idiots calling in. I want a pinstripe. He ain't going.
Right.
I said,
Yeah.
okay.
If you were wrong, you would have had to put both feet in your mouth for real. Because
Oh yeah.
you stood on business. Like you really did, bro. I give you credit. I remember it was the day the Yankee season ended last year, like the day after the World Series, and I walked in to the fan to work with you, and I'm just out here thinking to myself, like, man, all these Yankee fans are going to be calling in that they want Juan Soto, whatever, and you come right out of the way. Juan Soto will be a New York Met. And it's like, and then all these Yankee fans calling him, we don't even want him. He stinks in right field, man, whatever. And I'm like, damn, Al really is going for it right now. You said it on my show. You said it on this show. You called that thing left and right.
I said on every show on the fan
definitely
when, I credited the Yankees. I said they had to make the move for Soto. If they're going to trade, the Mets can't afford to do the trade. The Yankees did it. So the Yankees did. I gave them their credit. But even before the trade, I was like, he's going to be a Met. I was told by my guy who's in the know, who knows Soto's best friend, it's going to be a Met. Oh, you're just making stuff up for clickbait. I've never done that. That's not me.
Click this.
It's not me. Yeah.
And this is why David Stern didn't trade away everybody right now, because this offseason, when the Cleveland Guardians hit that fucking rebuild button and they start trading pieces off left and right.
Jose.
Furious. Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor have a real close relationship, and Jose Ramirez and Juan Soto, they're very fond of one another.
I'm gonna love those. I'm gonna love those barbecues.
I'm telling you, as a Yankee fan, it hurts me, Andrew. It hurts me to say this, but that's going to be the reality. If Vladimir Guerrero Jr. did not sign that extension with the Toronto Blue Jays, if Toronto didn't offer him that contract with all those stipulations and the tax benefits and whatever that they have to pay off in the future, the Mets would have threw the bag at him and he would have probably signed this offseason with the Mets. That didn't. Now they're pivoting, and their second option is Jose Ramirez.
I talked about the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. thing too, that he wanted to be a Met, and the Blue Jays went above and beyond, and they got it done. Like I was told that too. Vladdy wanted to be a Met, but the Blue Jays did what they had to do. They stepped up. They went above and beyond. They had to do it. They got to keep this. They got to keep him. And Jose Ramirez has been on my radar for a long time. I just don't know what Cleveland's doing. The fact that they put Steven Kwan available, who's only making $4.1 million, which is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. And especially in this day and age, a contact hitter, when it's either walk, strikeout, or home run, something's up in Cleveland, and the gambling shit's not helping them. It's just there's a black cloud over Cleveland right now, and the Mets are rightfully so standing there waiting to pick the bones.
That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing, bro.
Yeah.
So you can have Ryan McMahon. I'll take Jose Ramirez. Booyah! I had to.
Oh man. Oh wait. Are we good for a new segment here? Because I want to do this before we go. I don't mean to be done yet, but I want to ask everybody this question. Now that the deadline is passed, we gave our grades. We said who did better, who did whatever. I think we need to reset and repurpose our minds and decide our predictions for now with the Mets and the Yankees. With what we see, with the roster where it is today on July 31st, how far are the New York Mets going? How far are the New York Yankees going this season?
Yeah, Yankee fans, you can start. You win the World Series last year. You can start.
I'm smoking on that opium pack. Both teams are going to the World Series, Subway Series 2025. Holla at Yaguala. Juan Soto will be struck out by Devin Williams with the bases loaded.
Drew, what do you got for us?
No, 100% the World Series. At least, the Yankees have the AL is kind of garbage. Again, they had 3 American League Central teams in the postseason last year, and there's going to be at least 2 of them in the postseason this year. So the Yankees' path to get back to the World Series is about as easy as it's going to get. Again, I know the Astros loaded up a little bit, and I'm not scared of the Tigers. I'm not scared of any. I don't respect any AL Central team until proven otherwise. And the Mets, that bullpen, I think it's probably one of the best bullpens in the National League. I think this could be a real asset for them in the postseason. There's no reason that they can't get back to at least the NLCS this year. So I don't know. The Dodgers are always the big bad, and that until they can be beaten, I got my reserves on that. So, but the Yankees 100% World Series, Mets at least the NLCS.
See, we were doing so good until the fandom stuff started coming out. We were doing so good, so good. For the
it's based on the level of talent in the National League, man. The Phillies are crazy, the Padres are crazy, the Dodgers are crazy. Like those might be the 4 best teams in baseball right there, and then the Yankees are at 5.
Right.
Like that's the issue.
You got the Padres, you got the Dodgers, you got the Phillies, you got the Mets, you got the Cubs, you got the Brewers. They're all better than the Yankees. All 6 of those teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think if you look at like the Cubs and Brewers, they're probably right there, even odds with the Yankees and Tigers range in the AL right now.
Yeah. Where do I think these teams go?
Not so easy when it's your turn.
Al is eating some fries right now. You heard that shit?
No, I don't want to be. But before the season, I said the Mets are going to the World Series, so I'm sticking by it.
Yes, let's go.
I'm sticking by it. That was before the season.
All right.
Before the season, I thought we have the Subway Series. Then I was like, I like the Red Sox. If the staff can stay healthy.
Ooh.
So then I saw they didn't do any moves at the deadline. They go fuck themselves. So I'm predicting a New York Canada World Series, Mets and the Blue Jays.
Wow, let's go, baby! I love it. I love it so
what
much.
A hater. You just
no, because the Blue Jays the Blue Jays have, especially when they play the Yankees, they beat them, and the Yankees make all these stupid mistakes versus the Blue Jays in these games. It's crazy. Anthony Volpe's throwing to center field, and he should throw to second base versus the Blue Jays.
We got a third baseman now. We got a third baseman. We're not gonna have Jorbit Vibas or DJ. I can't play third base because I can't throw the ball to first. We don't got them no more.
You want to know something? That was probably the best move. That was one of the best moves the Yankees did. Was saying, "Cutting the check. See you later." They pulled the Cohen. See you later.
And it's telling that DJ has not been picked up yet. I mean, granted, he might be waiting himself. He might not be rushing to go somewhere. He could still go somewhere. But no, I like that. If Al wanted to be a real hater, he would have said Astros versus the Mets.
Yeah, I was gonna lean into it. Maybe I do it Saturday, so John from Nashville can call up all pissed off the Astros.
Oh my God, yes, that'd be great.
Saturday.
Maybe I'll do it Saturday. We'll see how I feel.
See, for me, I feel like I have no choice because I've been on this show, I've been on my show, I've been on TikTok every single day, banging the drum that the Yankees can win the World Series this season.
Oh.
So I've been saying that. What I've also been saying is that the New York Mets can win the World Series this year because both of those statements are true, and the odds are proving that I'm correct on that assessment that both of those teams can win the World Series. Because right now, where do they rank in the World Series odds? What do you guys think in the top what for the Mets and the Yankees? Mets are what?
The Mets are plus 900. Last I checked, so I think that's
ranked. Like which number? Not the odds.
I think 4th or 5th the Mets are.
And what about the Yankees?
Second,
right there underneath.
5th.
Wow.
The Mets are 4th. And the Yankees are 5th in the odds on DraftKings as I'm looking right now. The Dodgers are plus 285, which is insane that they are that low. The Phillies are 800, Tigers 800, Mets 850, Yankees 950, Astros plus 1,000. That's the top 6 right there. The Mets and Yankees are top 5 odds in baseball to win the damn World Series, and I'm going to stand on business. I've been saying it for weeks. The Mets and Yankees will see each other in the end of October.
What's the Blue Jays odds?
Blue Jays odds are plus 1,200.
Hey, no, that's not a bad one. If I had scratch like that, I'd throw a fucking grand on the Blue Jays.
Johnny, no, I'm actually heading out in the morning to I actually was supposed to work the game, but I forgot. I'm headed to a wedding this weekend, so I won't be at Citi Field this weekend. So sorry about that. I will be dancing and turning up and fucking Schenectady. I'll probably be one of the only Puerto Ricans up there. So
that's that town where you when back in the day if you ever go on those websites, dating sites that first opened, look at this hot girl from Schenectady, New York. It was
Oh yeah, you would know. You would
Hot
know, right?
locals
You're
in
the expert on
Schenectady.
that.
yes. I'm like, they ain't
Yeah,
local.
hot
Fucking
locals and
local. I gotta take a plane to
Schenectady.
see that bitch.
I only know Schenectady from the highway signs. That's the type of shit on the highway. You're driving down the belt or the BQE. I forget which one you'll be on to see Schenectady. And you'll see it and you have to say it out loud. You drive past and you're like, Schenectady.
I was gonna say those are the commercials that I used to get when I was a young kid and see like the online dating sites and stuff. I'm not that old, right?
Stop
I'm
it,
just
little
shot
kid.
at
You're still doing it now. Stop it.
people.
Stop it, little kid.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. The Pokemon emulator I got on my iPad is killer. And to talk about that, right? Something that I want to bring up real quick before I wrap things up. Al's gonna curse us out real quick. But 30 years ago, the Gorgonites,
the Toy Story alternate,
yes, the small soldiers. It has been confirmed that the Gorgonites made it back home to their village. So the Gorgonites has made it back to Gorgon.
Who the fuck is that?
Yo, this movie, it was a movie, correct? It wasn't a show, it was a movie.
No, it was a movie.
This movie was electric, bro. Electric.
Oh my god, you too, Andrew. You're one of these people too. Oh, man.
It came out the same time as Toy Story. It was Universal. Whoever made this, it was their counter to Toy Story. They were like, "Oh, Disney's coming out with a toy movie. We're coming out with a toy movie." But that toy movie, I love Toy Story, but this one
was
classic. Absolutely,
hey,
absolutely banger.
What is it, soldier? Take a look, sir. Bombshell, sir.
Oh, she from Schenectady, eh?
Holy posable.
Whoa.
The Gorgonites made it home to Gorgon, people. We could rest happy. Honestly, as a kid, that was something that was always a cliffhanger to me.
Congratulations, Gorgonites. Now go fuck yourselves.
Wait for the Small Soldiers reboot.
Make it happen, bro. I'm in.
Al, plug away. Al,
start off with the plug-in, baby. Fan Saturday night, 8 to 1, 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then I'll be joining Dexter. I don't know when he's going to post it, but I'm supposed to join him Sunday and then probably post it that night or the next day. But and then I'm on next Saturday on the Fan, 9 to 1.
Nice. Andrew, anything you want to plug away?
I'm always on, me and Pete are always coming on Subway Sports Talk. You can always find me on the socials at @_Swirls Barkley. Any of the socials, that's where I'm at.
And
Pete, you gotta send me his social so I can follow him. I gotta have you on my Yankee show, bro.
Drew is always dropping some gems from Subway Sports Talk's handle as well, every once in a while as well. The designated
is that homerisms going on there too, or?
A little, you know what? I feel like I got to give Drew some props here because normally when we have our designated hitter show, our baseball show, me, Drew, and this kid Alec is the homer. He is the homer for the Yankees. I would be the Mets fan, but you guys know how I mean. I'm a little bit homery with the Mets, but not too bad. And Drew is the one who knows ball enough for both sides to keep it a buck on both sides. So I give Drew tons of credit. Okay. He knows his stuff when it comes to ball. So Drew's not too bad with the homer stuff. He's really not.
We were talking before we came on that it's the only time I care about the Yankees honestly is off season. We're free agents and we play them. Other than that, I root against them in the playoffs. So whatever. I don't want to see them. I don't want to hear their fucking fans and kiss my Puerto Rican ass. But
you like us though, right, Al? You like us though, right?
That's to be continued.
Okay.
That's to be continued. It depends on how my meds are working that day.
Yeah. Well, speaking of plugs, I'll plug Subway Sports Talk one more time. What are you talking about? Plug, bro. Oh, I
was pointing up to you.
Oh, man, we're doing measurements now. Oh, come on, bro.
Malik Neighbors trying to measure a yard. Y'all seen that? All right.
That was terrible. It was terrible.
Measure a yard. He went 7 inches or something like that. So, if so facto, Malik Neighbors thinks he's got a yard down there. Anyways,
Oh, Malik Davis, what are you doing?
Subway Sports Talk podcast. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, where you listen to podcasts, Subway Sports Talk, and on socials, especially on TikTok. Me and Heck are out there, ripping talks up and down. That's what we do.
Facts. My man Pete Kennedy be putting the work on the TikTok, bro. You gotta start doing the TikTok lives, bro. Once you gotta start doing the TikTok lives. We should actually doing like a co-host one, me and you, one of these days. But now, you guys can follow me always, Uptown Sports TV. Shout out to TIO Al Cintron. Shout out to Pete Kennedy. Anthony Gallo couldn't be here tonight because he was doing some work with
He's lying. No, I know the answer. He's lying.
Let's go.
Oh, way to blast
He's
him on
lying.
air.
He went to go get a BBC.
Hold up.
A bacon, egg, and cheese?
Anywho, BEC, bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah. Cheese. Shout out to Andrew as well joining us. We're some lunatics over here, but like always, make sure you guys visit latinosports.com. You can catch me on the field at Yankee Stadium or Citi Field. I do enjoy like being able to go to both Yankee Stadium and Citi Field.
Better?
I think it's a blessing.
Which one's better?
It's Citi Field.
I don't do this. I don't do. Listen, when it comes to the fan experience, walking around Citi Field is obviously blows Yankee Stadium out of the water. Working media and press, I prefer Yankee Stadium because it's a separate elevator. And Citi Field, after like a certain inning, that elevator stops working, and it's a bitch to like walk. If I miss that elevator, go all the way down to like the corridors. It's a bitch walking up and down. So that's the only reason. I'm a lazy bastard.
If you're trying to go to Billy's
regardless
and
of
Stan's,
that,
Yankee Stadium wins too, because the Mets are still waiting for Uncle Steve to build the town around Citi Field.
The casino.
Oh, when that happens, that's a wrap. When the whole everything goes up there, that's a wrap for the rest of Major League Baseball.
You know what Steve Cohen needs to do? He needs to commission the city or try to figure it out. Get a fucking ferry from Washington Heights to Citi Field.
They're working on all of that.
Yeah. To do it. You know why? Because I hate having to take the 8 train all the way to 42nd Street, walk up and take the 7 train all the way to the last stop.
They're working on that ferry service. They're working on it.
Please, por favor. But this trade deadline has been amazing. Appreciate everybody who has been watching. We started in the morning with Dexter Henry on Yanks Morning Brew. I did another one at 6 o'clock with my man Brian Fonseca from the New York Post and from the and then, of course, the fellas over here at TIO Al and Friends. Al, Pete, Andrew came on, your guy Heck, and then shout out to Anthony Gallo, who was
he was getting a Brazilian shaft lift.
All right, a Brazilian wax. Shout out to my man and his Brazilian wax. Listen, self-care, you gotta be able to clean yourself up. You gotta clean yourself up, and what you gotta do, Pete?
God damn.
Yeah.